Do you like games with more freedom than common sense? Games where the economy is player-driven, and so are the war crimes. Where the real endgame is telling new players, yeah, there is dual wielding in this game. Just max every combat ability. Trust me, bro. Do you like games with a small but loyal player base? What about a game where, no matter how prepared your group is, your collective IQ drops by half the instant PvP starts? If you answered yes to any of the above questions, what the f? Welcome back to Mortal Online 2 Zero to Hero Season 2. Now, for those of you who may have discovered this video and have not watched the first season yet, I highly encourage you to use the link in the description and start with that playlist first. There is a lot of context as this is a continuous journey, and this is a direct sequel to where we left off in Season 1. For the rest of you returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here to watch. You guys know the drill by now. Let's dive straight into our goals for Season 2. Here we are with the goals for Season 2, and we're going to get right into it. I will say, however, you're probably already reading ahead. I'm going to touch each of these, but some of these may change as the season goes on, and in fact, one of them probably will by the end of the first episode. So first and foremost, Mastery level 50. In the first season, we unlocked Mastery. The second season, we plan to progress. Number 2, a beginner melee PvP tutorial. I've noticed a lot of people saying, oh, you're on a new character, and you're already fighting better than me. I have a lot of hours in this game, guys, and I'm not even that good. I'd say I'm above average, but I'm going to show you guys in episode 1, actually, a beginner guide to melee PvP. Number 3, we're going to upgrade our trinkets. In the first season, we got shitty, okay starter trinkets. We're going to upgrade those and revamp our build a little bit. Number 4, a couple of you have asked for this, and I am delivering. We are going to start a guild. More on that later in this episode. Number 5, we're going to learn a second weapon craft. In Season 1, we learned swords. I'm thinking maybe hammers or axes, because those are both weapons that are great on a Thursar. Number 6, we built Mount Nope. And what we're going to do next is upgrade it to the max level and furnish it. Number 7, explore the guilds of Nave. What I'd like to do is platform a lot of guild leaders to be able to speak about their guild, what they do, what they're looking for in new recruits, and maybe you'll find through one of the episodes in this season a new guild to call home. Number 8, attack an outpost. Now in Season 1, we did an outpost defense. In Season 2, I would like to do an outpost attack. Number 9, participate in TC. So you've got outpost control and territory control. Territory control is the sieging through means of siege machinery of houses, keeps, structures, things of that nature. And we're going to participate in some of that in Season 2. And last but not least, number 10, we're going to kill the 3 coolest bosses, in my opinion, Ultimeki, the Satyr boss, and the Minnow King. So without further ado, one more time I will say, welcome back to Season 2 of Mortal Online 2 Zero to Hero. And here we are in trusty Morin Kerr. Welcome back. This is episode 1 of the new season. So obviously we laid down all of our new goals for the season. I'm pretty happy with them. I think the season might run a tiny bit longer than last time. We'll see. I've got obviously 10 instead of 8 goals, so see how it pans out. I think the lowest hanging fruit right now is obviously I'm excited to make a guild, and part of that is you need money to make a guild, and a good chunk of it, especially if you want a guild tabard. So let's take a look at that really quick. So in every major town you have this community guild stone, and if you want to make a guild, you need, as you can see, 200 gold. Now that's not a problem. I've only got like 80 in Morinker right now, so that kind of leads me into the other thing we're going to start working on today, which is starting Mastery. Now, by the end of Season 1, I already had achieved Mastery 6, but like I mentioned, Elixirs of Aptitude are 500 apiece, and I don't have that kind of money, so we're basically just farming Mastery points until we have an extra 500 gold laying around. But first, we need 200 gold. So we're just going to task a bit. We're going to make sure we maintain Nopeland and keep an eye on our borders and farm up some money to make the guild. Now, in addition to that, obviously making the guild is step 1. Step 2 is making the tabard. Now, I've already made it, and I'm excited to show it to you guys. So here is the tabard for the guild Nope. as you can see, is rudimentary, but effective, right? Rudimentary, but effective. That's all you can ask for in a tabard, right? So in order to apply a tabard, first you need a guild, which is 200 gold. And then you need 2,000 gold and 50,000 prominence. Now, prominence is essentially every time you kill something, you get glory. If you are in a guild, you get 1-to-1 glory to prominence. So we need to get 50,000 glory through tasking or other means, which we'll easily get in our Mastery 50 grind. And then we can buy our tabard. So we're going to start the Mastery grind, just simple at first. We're going to be grinding XP in a lot of different places in the season. It's not just going to be MK like in Season 1. I want to explore a lot more, but we're going to start that just to get the money, start the guild, and then we'll start working towards the tabard. Now, also this episode, what we're going to do is we are going to do our beginner melee PvP tutorial. Spinning, fainting, riposting, charging, blinking, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe some other bits and bobs we'll see, but that's what's going on today. So let's get started with some mastery. Also, this specific farm likely won't be live on Twitch, but don't forget, follow on twitch.tv/deepcheekdweller to see all of the farms and all of the stuff happening behind the scenes that goes into every episode. I just looked in my inbox, and Christ is King, who I don't think I've interacted with before, sent me some decorations for the house. So this actually gives me a good idea. If you guys want to send me something to put in the house, I'm happy to do it. So let's take these and see. We've got a fancy bed green, a long desk, and a stone flower planter. So these will be some of the first pieces of decoration to go into the house. Thank you, Christ is King. Also, fantastic name, because indeed he is. And you know what? I just took a detour over to Mount Nope just to make sure the upkeep is paid. Got over a month in there now. Got 35 days. Now, the cool thing is, you know, when we upgrade the house, it's going to add a complete extra side room and we'll get a second floor. For now, it's a little cramped. And, you know, obviously I'm going to want a weapon crafting table, some chests, you know, various things in here. But let's go ahead and drop these in here. You know what? I have an idea. Wait, hang on. I have an idea. Let's do the bed. Right? Here. Yep. And then we'll put the flower planter right at the foot of the bed. Very cool. Yeah, like that. And then what does this long desk look like? Put this here for now. Yeah, that's good. All right. Yep, the 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, the 8th is in the way. Nice. Look at this. Look at this. We got a little bed. We got our planter, got a desk. Definitely going to have a table here for weapon crafting with a couple of chests, because obviously we're weapon crafters now. But that is a good start. That is a good start. The Lord smiles brightly on Mount Nope today. Well, I forgot to be recording, but I just hit Mastery level 7. So I'll keep you guys updated as we go along. The first, like, 30 levels of Mastery are insanely fast, and, like, I'm already thinking, like, maybe Mastery 50 is too low for Season 2, so maybe 60? You know, once you get past, like, 50, 60, that's when it really becomes a fucking slog. Like, I'm not going to hit 110 till Season 3, but maybe we up it to 60, who knows? But anyways, I just hit Mastery 7. Dude, I don't know what happened to the pathing here, but look at this jittery-ass stutter step thing the Rizars do. Look, watch this. Watch. First time I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was like bugged out or something, or like they were gonna like fall through the floor. Oh shit, I can't talk and parry at the same time. Another turn in, another mastery level. Mastery 9.5. These turn-ins really, really help. We're going crazy fast. Let's see how much money we have so far. All right, we're almost there. We're at about 160 gold. Couple more runs, we should be there, and then we will finalize the guild, and then we'll start building towards our tabard. So from here, a couple more runs. I'm going to stop checking in every single mastery level because I feel like it's going to get really redundant. But a couple more runs, probably a couple more mastery levels just to kick us off, and then we will move on to the guild thing. So I'll check in with you guys here shortly. I'm about to do a rat daily. Tribrat daily down in the sewers, and I cannot for the life of me remember if I ever showed this off in Season 1, so I am going to show it off now. You can get down to the water there. There's no fall damage in water, so you can actually jump up here on this bridge in MK that separates the rich side from the poor side. And you look for this emblem right here on the bridge, and just fucking send it there, bud. Just fucking send it there. As long as you hit the water, you're fine. If you're not too light, you can hold space. You'll start to swim up. But if you're too heavy, like you're in steel, just swim towards this rock, and moving forward will guide it right up. There's a tactical bush pig down here. Oh, shit.
You dead. You dead, bitch.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
I reflected. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Got you, bro.
Nice job. Just take it. Just take everything.
No, no, no. I only want a couple things. Hang on. I'm going to destroy all his mage mats. I'm deleting them all. That's what you get. And now I'm going to post his head. Put his head in chat as is customary.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
No, 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 no.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Dude, this guy's... What is happening? This guy's gonna kill me. You bastard! The dude that I killed earlier just ran up on me, blasting music. That was like, oh, and they fucking death-handed me to death. Well, that was weird. I guess you can't win them all, right? So I'm naked here in the bank now, but I did go a little overboard. Most of this is because I was doing dailies. So you get 50 or 25 gold every single time. So 330, we only need 200 to start the guild. Let's go ahead and before we even worry about rekitting, let's go ahead and start the guild. All right. So we've got our 200 gold on us. Let's go ahead. I like how it says, hold R to handle your guild. Oh, I'm going to handle it all right. Nope. Bang. Guild created. Doesn't show. Game's working as intended. Uh-oh. Hello? There we go. The guild, nope. The guild master is nope. So at this point, the guild's made. You can see my horse is now green because it's in my guild with me. Let's take a look at some of these windows here. So obviously you have your guild window with the name of your guild, the members, and their ranks. And you can boot people, and you can up their rank, down their rank, etc. Right? And then you've got territory. So your guild tier goes up as you have supply, prominence, and other things. You can, when you have enough prominence and you hold supply towers across the map, you can upgrade your guild tier. Okay? And then sieges. This is where you can see incoming and outgoing siege events. Now, I won't be doing any of these because they require 1,000 gold and 25,000 prominence to declare a siege. The guild nope has begun. This is an exciting time. Next up, I'm going to do a little bit more farming. We're actually mastery 14 already. I'm probably going to change the goal to like 60 or something. But anyways, I'm going to grind a little bit longer, get a little bit more gold, and then in a little while, we are going to do that melee PvP tutorial. So I will be with you guys in a little bit, and I will show you if anything interesting happens between now and when we film the melee PvP tutorial. See you guys soon. Something I was just thinking about is 50,000 prominence is kind of a lot. Can definitely do it solo, but this guild doesn't have to be just me as a bit. I'm going to add some of my friends who have untagged characters. And, I may open the guild up to applications for people who want to play. The level of experience I would accept in the guild varies. It really depends, right? Like the kind of general mindset I go for is if you're a foot fighter, you need to be able to accomplish certain things to hold your weight in a team fight. If you're a mage, I'll fucking take any mage. I don't care. It's hit scan. client-side hit registration, so mage is super easy, as long as you can keep me and the boys alive. So yeah, I might open applications to the guild. We'll see. I mean, if you want to be in the guild, DM me on Discord. My handle is the same everywhere, Deep Cheek Dweller. I'm in the Mortal Online 2 Discord. And yeah, submit an application with a PvP clip. Now, I will tell you, off the bat, if you don't do at least one quad feint, triple spin in the PvP video, you're going to be rejected. Okay? I'm joking. Yeah, if you want to be a part of the guild, whisper me on Discord, and maybe we'll turn this into a thing. Who knows? But anyway, guild created. Let's move on. All right, so let's get started with a bit of the fundamentals of melee fighting in the game, right? I'm going to start with very basic, bare bones level mechanics, and then we're going to get into, you know, 1v1ing and like dueling a little bit. So first off, obviously, if you guys have been watching for any amount of time at this point, you know that you can attack in 4 different directions. And I'm not going to explain that to you. You can also block in 4 different directions. Don't have to explain that to you. Now, when you're holding a swing, you'll see that little circle start to fill up in the middle, right? And if you hold it long enough, it'll blink. So what does that blink mean? Well, if I hold until it blinks and then I feint into a new attack. Oh, the fuck? Hang on. There we go. See, if you wait till it blinks and then you do a new attack, it does full damage. So you take a look at this. A full swing is 60 damage. A full charge to a blink and then a feint is also full damage, okay? So you'll notice that, like in my dueling clips, I'm like kind of holding on someone. I'm waiting for the blink, right? Because if I just do this, I did 5 damage. But if I do it after the blink, I've done 45. See what I'm saying? So blink charging is important. So the same way how once you see the blink, you have a little bit of time to switch your attack. You can even switch it more than once, you know? Like that. The same thing is true for ripostes. So someone's swinging at you, right? They're charging on this side of their body. They're right swinging, so you have to block to the left, right? If you catch the parry, then it'll say on your screen, you know, so-and-so hit you for 0, and then in parentheses down here, it'll say parry. Now, a parry carries the exact same amount of time as a blink before your full damage is done. So once you parry, you can hit instantly. You'll notice in a lot of my combat, like what I'll do is I'll catch a parry, and then I'll immediately look straight down and do that. But when you catch a parry and when you get a blink charge, those are the 2 scenarios where you will do full damage on your next attack without charging it. The next thing to talk about is spinning. You see a lot of players spinning when they're in a 1v1. Why do they spin? Well, simply, when you're spinning, if I do this, right? All I'm doing is I'm showing you this attack, and then as I spin, and by the way, I always look at the floor because you spin faster while looking at the floor. It's less mouse real estate. But anyways, so if I do this, as I spin, I feint into a new attack. I'm doing it while I'm away from you, right? Like here, if I do this, you're gonna see it. But if I do this, right? There's not as much time for you to catch it because my arms are behind me. Now, good players will still catch this, but this is something that you need to understand. Being comfortable with your feints, being able to feint at will at any point in an attack is important. And then starting to learn how to spin, right? What I like to do is I like to find a comfortable DPI and setting for sensitivity where I can comfortably spin and land on my target every single time. Okay, so that's step 1, right? Learn to feint and learn to do it quickly. This is not that quick, but I'm just doing it slow to kind of explain it, right? And then learn spinning with enough, you know, sensitivity to comfortably hit your guy in both directions. If I'm holding a swing and then I stop in place to do this, you're going to be 3 steps away from me. So the next thing you need to learn is spinning with tracking. So pay attention to the buttons in the bottom left corner because the movement keys here are important. So the drill that I like to do, you know, if you're trying to track someone while spinning and they're walking backwards, is I like to look at a target dummy or some sort of post, or it could be a tree or anything. It doesn't matter. It could be your horse. It doesn't matter. But find a target. Training dummy is my target, okay? I'm going to start walking forwards towards it. And as I'm walking forwards, I'm going to spin and continue my forward momentum. Now you'll notice in the bottom right, I'm going to zoom in on it for this next one. You'll notice I kind of almost do a sweep across the keys. depending on the direction that I'm spinning, right? So I'm like W, A, S, D, W, right? I'll do it again from farther away. W, A, S, D, W. I'm constantly moving forward towards my target while spinning. Hopefully that makes sense. And the goal here is just to land on your target in the center of your view every time. And just keep practicing that. Because here's the thing, when you're aggressing on someone, they're going to be walking backwards. This is very important, right? This is where things get more complicated. Those are basic concepts, right? Parry, charge a swing, feint, little 360, right? Basic concepts. When you put them together is where it starts to get a little intense, okay? So let's take two of the concepts, feinting and spinning, okay? That's why we call it the spin feint. So I'm showing you an overhead. The target dummy is you, okay? I'm showing you an overhead here. I want to spin into a right swing, okay? So I need to be able to not only wait for my blink charge, and you'll get the timing down on a blink charge, but you got to wait for your blink charge. And then once you get your blink charge, spin, feint into the next attack. I like to kind of make it like a smooth motion. I like to look down towards my back right foot, and once my cursor catches up to my toe is when I switch attacks, okay? So it'll just look something like this. That, right? Or like this. See? You can also do half turns. That's something that I do a lot. Half turn, turn back. Okay? So once you're good at feinting and you're good at spinning, you put them together with a spin feint. Like that, okay? All right, now the final thing we're gonna go over in this segment specifically is accels or accelerations of your swing. Now, every weapon is different. I am a sword fanboy. I really like swords. A lot of people are gonna tell you swords just got nerfed. Combat abilities made swords bad. I kill people with swords all the time. Don't believe them, okay? Are other weapons better? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But in a duel, sword is awesome. Okay, so let's talk about excelling. If I'm standing in front of you and I do this, you have like a whole one Mississippi, to see what I'm doing and block up, right? Now, the physics in this game are determining where the blade is like every single frame. If you ever played Mordhau, or Chivalry for that matter, it's very similar, okay? So why do this and wait all that time when I can look straight down and hit you on the very first frame, right? Hit you on the very first frame. The same is true. You've probably seen it in some of my duels in clips from previous episodes, but the same is true for side swings. Why swing at you like this when I can swing at you like this and it hits you instantly, right? So you'll see like it's muscle memory, but for example, I'll hold this, and if I know, okay, I'm gonna spin into an overhead, I keep looking straight down, right? Because the sword's gonna hit as fast as it possibly can. If I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna spin into a right swing, I'm gonna stop right here, right? As I'm fighting, this is where I let go of my swing, right there. Because I don't wanna do this, spin, and then give you all that time to parry. I wanna spin, have it smack you as fast as possible. But really quick, let me just recap, and I'm gonna break it down into the things you should learn and in what order. First and foremost, just get your keybinds together. You got a left attack, an up attack, a right attack, and a stab, okay? You've got a left block, up block, right block, down block. Once you have that, practice your charge swings. Get the feeling down for when that charge and that blink is gonna happen. Once you have the timing down for your charges, start practicing feints, right? Just feint in random directions. Just see what happens, right? Now, you can actually combine your feint practice with your blink charge practice by seeing if you can get 3 separate swings in on a single blink. So wait for the charge. Do 2 feints rather, right? And make sure you're doing full damage. Make sure you're doing it fast enough, okay? Because in a real fight, you're gonna wanna feint at least twice if it's a 1v1, okay? Otherwise, they're just gonna parry everything. What are we gonna do next? We're gonna practice spinning. So first, just stand right in front of your target and just do little spins. Get a comfortable sensitivity. Just make sure that you're constantly hitting the guy that you wanna hit, right? You're comfortably, every time, landing exactly where you wanna land, right? Then, once you're comfortable with that, start practicing. Again, pay attention to the keys I'm pressing in the bottom right. again, start practicing spinning while moving towards your target so you can keep your forward momentum while you're spinning. And finally, put it all together. Practice. Start simple at first. Just one attack into a feint with a spin, right? Something simple. It doesn't have to be too crazy. In one single day, you're not going to be hitting fucking quad feints. You know what I mean? So that's all you have to practice. Then get a little cheeky with it, right? Try and get 2 feints in before the time runs out. Then start doing your like half-turn flickbacks. That's a term I just used for the first time. You're like, you hold, feint halfway, come right back. Right? We used to call that the look away. I used to love doing that. I would just go like this. And you'd be surprised how often holding a left and just like flicking away and hitting another left actually hits people. So that is the fundamental mechanical progression of foot fighting, okay? And more specifically, PvP. These are the kinds of things you don't need to do this in PvE. You don't need to spin feint Rizars, okay? They're dumb as bricks. But you need to be able to understand this if you are going to be a foot fighter in Mortal, because you have to fight players. There's no avoiding it. You will be put in situations where you have to fight people. And you want to kind of use this as a progression guide to measure how well you're fighting against people, okay? Now, of course, there's parrying. There's no way to practice parrying without being in a fight. So get with your friends, duel, have them. One thing we like to do with new players in guilds that I've been in, right? When we recruit them, you go, hey, you're going to stand in front of me for an hour and I'm going to spam attacks and you're going to parry as many as you can. And you just literally just do this, right? Just do this. Have your friend do this to you and just see how many you can parry. And then have them like, whoop, feint, whoop, overhead. Oh, nope, never mind. It's a right, overhead into a stab. And make sure you can parry, right? If your friend is learning this system with you and you're following this kind of progression guide, if you will, of like steps and things to practice, and your friend's practicing with you, have them start throwing spins. Have them go like this. See if you can catch it, right? Have them do this. Can you catch that, right? That's the type of shit that you need to be drilling with your buddies if you want to learn to parry, because that's the only way you're going to do it. All right, next let's move on to how to handle a 1v1 engagement using the fundamental strategy of combat initiative. All right, so I'm joined by my very own Vanna White here, Ramen from Battle Brothers. Thank you for helping me, buddy. So we're going to talk about initiative, mechanical initiative or combat initiative. So when you're in a fight in this game, right, and this is specifically for 1v1s, team fights are totally different. I'm probably going to cover team fights in a different episode, right? And he's emoting at me here. So in a 1v1, combat initiative is who is on offense and who is on defense. Now, you might think the person attacking is on offense, right? The person swinging their sword is on offense. Not always necessarily. The game has mechanical initiative, mechanics built underneath the fighting system, behind the scenes, or under the hood, if you will, that determine who is mechanically on offense and who is mechanically on defense, right? So that is what combat initiative is. And understanding initiative is understanding the flow of a fight and when you need to turtle up and parry versus when you need to be on the aggressive, right? When you have initiative, you want to keep the aggression moving. And I call it, keeping the ball rolling downhill. You want to keep pushing your initiative until you lose it. And then you start taking the back foot, right? All right, so there's 3 scenarios in a fight with initiative, right? You're either in neutral, you have initiative, or you don't have initiative. So neutral is, for example, when a fight starts. Go ahead and duel me. All right. When a fight starts and you're posturing and you're waiting to start the engagement, we're essentially fighting from neutral here. We're not in range. We're not ready to attack each other, right? So from neutral, the way that you get initiative is being the first to start charging your sword. The reason for that is because the second person to start charging will get combat reduced. Their swing will do less damage because you started charging first. So here we're neutral. If I take the initiative by charging my swing first, don't fucking challenge initiative in an initiative tutorial, you fuck. So if I do this and I start my swing first, right, I have now taken initiative. So what Ramen would want to be doing here is going on the defensive. He'd want to be ready for the parry. The only time, let's say I hit him, right? Let's say I do a little feint and I hit him, right? That was a bad example because it was 0 damage, but I hit him. As long as I hit him, I maintain initiative. So I've done damage to him, I continue to have initiative, and I keep the ball moving downhill, right? The way that you lose initiative is by missing or if the other person parries. So if I have initiative here and then Ramen parries me, because he parried, we talked about riposting earlier, because he has a riposte timer, now he has initiative and I need to go on the back foot, right? If I'm going to attack him and let's say I go to do a feint and I just whiff and I smack the floor, he now has initiative because he can start charging his attack first, right? So the first person to start charging from neutral gains initiative and doesn't lose it until they miss or are parried. And the initiative just bounces back and forth. Now, combat abilities get kind of thrown in the mix. Combat abilities are new. Combat abilities do not inflict counter reduction. So if I have initiative and he tries to hit me with a combat ability, I can just swing through it anyway, and there's no counter reduction. So don't spam abilities when you don't have initiative. All right, so Ramen and I are going to do a duel, and I'm going to have a graphic on the screen showing who has initiative at all times.
All right, a little bit.
All right, fuck it.
Hey. Oh? We get to see how bad they are. Actually,
Damage is not bad because it's tongue steel.
it's steel. It's not tongue steel.
What is it?
It's steel.
Oh, just regular steel?
Yeah.
Man, I'm fighting like shit today. Fuck.
It has the same advantages as one-handed hammers, but significantly less damage. Ouch. Okay, I'm taking pictures here. You fucker.
He switched back. Here is one more good example of a slightly more hectic fight. In the middle, you'll see that initiative is passed back and forth like 10 times in 5 seconds. If either of those fights moved a little too fast for you guys, I recommend to go back, maybe watch it on 0.5 speed or something, and really pay attention to when initiative is changing hands and reference what I talked about when we were practicing with Ramen on why initiative is changing hands. But hopefully this help clears that up. Definitely, I would say, you know, I think we have a pretty good rubric here for progress. So follow the steps, practice those things in order, and pretty soon you'll be fighting, you know, pretty well. All right, and that wraps us up for episode 1. Not a whole lot of PvP or like fighting except for the very end, but episode 2 is going to come at you with some PvP, some fighting, some excitement. But guys, I am just so happy to be back filming again and producing a season 2 for you guys. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe to the YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/deepcheekdweller. As you can see here, we've already completed 2 of our goals out of 10. So we are a 1/5 of the way there, but trust me, this season's going to take a little bit longer than season 1 because, I mean, even just killing Ultimeki might take us 2 days of attempts. I haven't done Ultimeki in a very long time, and I don't even remember what he's like, so it's going to be fun though. You guys are going to fucking love Ultimeki. Now that the production of season 2 is in full swing, we're going to be releasing 1 episode every week. So keep an eye out. I'll see you in just about a week for episode 2 of season 2 of Mortal Online 2 Zero to Hero. Take care, guys. See you soon.